For more reaction now to today's historic House Speaker vote, we are joined by South Bay Congressman Khanna. Congressman, because this is such a rare occurrence, there's really not much of a playbook for it. Republicans are scrambling now to find a path forward. Lawmakers return tomorrow. What do you see happening?
Well, it was total chaos today. I mean, 3 votes, and McCarthy actually lost people as each round progressed. Many Democrats are open to the idea of a unity speaker. I mean, there are Republicans who I can work with, and if they are willing to nominate someone who is committed to putting the agenda of the American people first, who's committed to working across the aisle as opposed to doing investigations, they'll find people on the Democratic side who'd support that.
Yeah, you just mentioned that you're open to the possibility of a unity speaker or a unity candidate. Have you been part of any conversations with Republicans on finding that unity candidate?
Informally, I mean, they know that several of us are open to that possibility. But right now, they are still trying to appease the far right. And I don't think that that is going to work. It's not what the American people want. The American people clearly rejected extremism. My hope is that there will be a group of Republicans who will offer candidates who, though conservative, are actually willing to cross the aisle. And there are plenty of those type of people, Representative Mike Gallagher, Nancy Mace, Brian Fitzpatrick. So let's see if they actually do that.
A small but determined group of hardline conservatives are not on board with McCarthy. Explain their opposition to him. And if not McCarthy, you did mention some names, who do you think will likely take the speaker spot?
Well, they're opposed to Kevin McCarthy because they want someone even further to the right. So that I don't think is something that the American people want. They want someone who's going to have drastic budget cuts. They want someone who's going to be more aggressive in launching investigations against President Biden. If we really want a unity speaker who could get Democratic support, it has to be someone with a track record of working across the aisle and who isn't going to use the speakership to launch frivolous investigations against our president.
So it's really anyone's guess as to how long this will take. How long do you see this playing out?
You know, I honestly thought we'd have a speaker by tonight. I thought maybe it'd be go 2 or 3 rounds. The fact that they adjourned, the fact that there weren't more votes, suggests to me that this is going to go on for a while. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate for the country. They've had months since November to prepare, and the fact that they can't get a speaker, I think just shows the chaos. And frankly, it should make people in the Bay Area proud of Nancy Pelosi, who never had this in the 20 or so years that she led Democrats, both as minority leader and speaker. It just shows how effective she was to keep Democrats together.
You talked about the chaos right now. So in the meantime, without a speaker, how does the House operate? Can any business get done?
No. In fact, I was talking to my wife. There are no House rules. I mean, technically, someone can go on to the House floor with flip-flops. I mean, there's nothing right now because the first order of business is to pass the House rules. And basically, you have a clerk of the House who's presiding. But we can't pass spending bills. We can't pass anything on the debt ceiling. We can't have committee hearings. We haven't even been sworn in. So you literally have the country right now operating without a House of Representatives. The country is strong. We can see this happen for a day or two. But if this starts to extend out, it's really hurting the institution and the nation.
Okay, one last thing before we let you go. Just curious, if there is no speaker, what happens to the line of presidential succession?
That's a great question, and I don't know. I guess it just skips over the speaker, and then it's the next person in line. And I'm not sure whether that's the Secretary of State or the Senate pro tem, but that also is an issue, obviously, at hand.
All right. Well, we will be watching to see what happens. Lawmakers returning tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock our time. South Bay Congressman Khanna, thanks for joining us tonight. We appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.